Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live for our second game of our doubleheader this Sunday afternoon. Earlier we watched Bournemouth draw 1-1 with Newcastle. Controversially, a Bournemouth winning goal was disallowed by VAR. Chelsea did win 6-2 away at Wolves at 2-2 at half-time. 4 straight goals from Chelsea, including a Noni Madueke hat-trick in the second half, secured the 3 points for the first 3 points of the season for Enzo Maresca's side. Wolves winless in their first two then. Back-to-back defeats. We're here at Anfield for the final game of the second week of the new Premier League season, and it is Arne Slot's first league home game in charge of Liverpool. He's following some legends at this historic football club, and Brentford are his first opponents at historic Anfield. He is about to hear the first ever You'll Never Walk Alone after the Premier League anthem here at Anfield. His team are looking to go for 2 wins from 2 at the start of the season and join the likes of Manchester City, Brighton and Arsenal, the 3 sides that have already done that. Brentford, well, they're looking for the same task. They've got 3 points after their first match at home. They head to Anfield, where it has not been a happy hunting ground for Brentford or anyone over recent years, other than Liverpool, the home side. And we will see if they can spoil what would be a wonderful party this afternoon. You'll Never Walk Alone starts, and let's just pause for a moment. Wonderful, You'll Never Walk Alone. The first League One for Arne Slot, and first of many, I'm sure Liverpool fans are hoping. To the teams then for this one. Alisson starts in goal for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson the back 4. Van Dijk the captain. Gravenberch and McAllister continuing that deep midfield role, with Szoboszlai in the 10. Diaz off the left, Salah off the right, and Diogo Jota leading the line for Liverpool. For Brentford, they've a change of system as Mark Flecken starts in goal. They've gone for a back 3 today of Roerslev, Collins and Pinnock, with Ayer a bit further forward. Other side is Lewis Potter, the left wing back. Vitaly Janelt, Norgard and Jensen in midfield, with a front 2 of Brian Mbeumo and Johan Wissa. Liverpool have a few known names on the bench for Brentford: Van de Berg and Carvalho, both signed a few days ago for Brentford from Liverpool, as we get underway at Anfield. First game at Anfield in the Premier League this season, the first league Anfield game for Arne Slot as the new Liverpool manager. He is a great legend of the Liverpool Football Club to follow in Jurgen Klopp, and he wants to get off to a winning start at home against Brentford, who today are in pink and purple shorts. I was expecting them to be in green because pink is very close to red, but clearly not a kit clash. And Brentford in their away strip. Liverpool, of course, obviously in all red. It's a day that could go down in history, may go down in history, but not anytime soon. But will be one remembered by Liverpool fans. The day that Jurgen Klopp, for the first time at a Premier League game at Anfield, in 9 years was not the Liverpool manager on the sideline. Someone else. Something they'll get used to, but it'll be pretty raw feeling for those Liverpool fans today. A win would certainly make it a lot less raw for Arne Slot, who got off to a winning start last week away to Ipswich. Not a difficult task for Liverpool. You know, a newly promoted side away from home is not the easiest, but it wasn't the easiest in the first half actually for Liverpool, but they improved in the second half and could have had more than 2 last week. But 2-0 victory, 3 points and a clean sheet. I'm sure Arne Slot couldn't have asked for very much more from his side ultimately out of that one. Liverpool did make just one change from that game at centre back. Ibrahima Konate coming in for Jarrell Kwanzaa, who's on the bench. Jarrell Kwanzaa, who was subbed at half time against Ipswich, but no more than an injury issue, a slight injury knock, says Arne Slot, for this game. Didn't train as much this week, did Jarrell Kwanzaa. As here's McAllister try to break through, but Pinnock goes back to his keeper. Excuse me. And Flecken knocks it long. Van Dijk with a header. Brought down in midfield by Gravenberch. To Robertson. Kind of darted in behind. First run for Jota to make, and Pinnock was there first to cover over and clear it away for Brentford. As Gravenberch went for the header, Van Dijk, his international teammate, won the header, and pulled down there was Norgard by McAllister. Of course, Liverpool, a new manager means a slight tweak in the system. We saw last week, of course, Liverpool haven't signed a defensive midfielder this summer, haven't signed anyone this summer as it stands. Of course, with around about 5 days left of the window, it's not much time. They do want to get someone in, but they haven't so far. The only Premier League club without a signing, a new signing this summer. But of course, Ryan Gravenberch deputising in that 6 role, that deep midfield, defensive midfield role. He did play it very, very well against Ipswich last week and looks to be continuing in that role today. Here is Gravenberch. Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold. Finds Gravenberch in a bit of space in midfield, but crowded out that time. Does well to win it back though. Here's Diaz off the left. Not afraid to commit forward as Robertson committed a bit early. Diaz lost the ball, and Brentford try and break on Liverpool as Mbeumo the threat down the right, but seen out of play by Virgil van Dijk, who wins the Liverpool throw-in. Gravenberch threatened there at the back. Robertson has the head down the line. Brentford certainly trying to apply that system that Ipswich did on Liverpool in that first half at Portman Road last week. That man-to-man system that Liverpool struggled to get to grips with in the first half. Arne Slot called it not winning enough duels in that first half, let Liverpool down. He said once they started winning more duels, they became more dominant in the game and passed the ball a bit quicker. And they played around that man-to-man marking system, and that's what got them ultimately the 2-0 win in the end. Jota and Salah, the scorers. Salah getting a goal and an assist, and breaking a Premier League record in the process. The most goals on the opening day of any player in Premier League history. 9, to be exact, for Mo Salah. Here's Keane Lewis-Potter, who's seen her to play there by Alexander-Arnold, and the Liverpool vice-captain wins a throw-in. Konate, back to Alisson. Gravenberch. Confident at playing out from the back there, Liverpool. Under pressure as Salah tries to pick up a loose end. Gravenberch there to pick it up. Dart it forward. Jota tried to chest it forward, but easily dealt with back there by Mads Roerslev, who goes back to Flecken. Roerslev again. So that was good covering by McAllister, who came across and stopped Roerslev in his tracks. Brentford with a throw. Flecken. There's the spinning out to the left-hand side, but just overhits that one and gives away a cheap throw-in to Liverpool. So a throw-in down this right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold will take. looking for his options. Darts it into a space, but gives it straight away. No one in Liverpool colours in the middle there. And now Brentford trying to counter. Down the left-hand side it comes. Vissa does keep it in. Szoboszlai on the chase, but Vissa trying to cross it. And no one in there to try and follow in as Robertson carries away for Liverpool. And a worrying threat there. Initially it was an unforced error from Alexander-Arnold from the throw-in. It was straight away and Brentford tried to counter. Ultimately didn't cause any sort of threat on the Liverpool goal, and Liverpool recovered, but maybe a moment that they almost forced upon themselves there, Liverpool, that mistake. Alisson. Van Dijk. Liverpool just a bit more methodical in their build-up now. What we've seen throughout pre-season and against Ipswich as well. Whereas with Jurgen Klopp, we saw Liverpool kind of at times were a bit methodical, but most of the time it was with pure pace and energy and getting the ball wide and running at players and that intensity to the game that I don't think we're going to see as much of from Liverpool when they're in possession. I think we're going to see that more methodical build-up, more towards the regime of maybe the likes of Man City, Arsenal, in a sense, where they do that methodical build-up play from the back. Liverpool do build from the back and have done, but in a different sense, in a different way. And for a moment there, we just saw a glimpse of Liverpool just not forcing a few early passes, and their high press here almost got them a throw in. It does get them a throw in the end, actually. Jota with a press, and Roerslev tried to keep it in and just couldn't keep it in the bounds of the pitch. Here's Robertson. 8 minutes gone at Anfield. Liverpool have had the majority of the early possession, but Brentford not looking majorly threatened so far. As McAllister plays it across to Konate and darts forward. Here's Salah. Forward to Alexander-Arnold. Back to Konate. Liverpool exclusively in the Brentford half at the moment, other than their keeper. Konate. Looking for the right pass. Will go wide. Back it comes to Gravenberch. Now Robertson. Now out wide to Diaz. And a chop in field. Luis Diaz does so. Does well, Diaz. Still coming across. Switches it out to the right hand side. Salah with that awful first touch. And Brentford there to pounce on it. But Salah does really well and wins it back for Liverpool. Not giving up on that one. Alexander-Arnold to Robertson. Narrower fullbacks as well I've seen from Liverpool. Not often we've seen Robertson go wide as much. He's more been tucking in with the two centre-backs more often, and Alexander-Arnold's given that freedom to run, but more narrow from Robertson as Liverpool win the corner. Szoboszlai. It's Alexander-Arnold's ball, and Szoboszlai hitting it off the Brentford defender and winning Liverpool's first corner of the game. Virgil van Dijk has that aura from corners. Scored quite a number in his time at Liverpool in various different fashions. He's on the goalkeeper at the moment, Virgil van Dijk, which is interesting. Fabulous. Let's see how he takes this corner. The corner's whipped in, and Konate was the closest. Robertson whipped it in, and now Liverpool give it away from their own corner. Here's Vissa. And a break for Brentford, but Szoboszlai tries to cover. Lots of Liverpool bodies back. They stopped that Brentford counter-attack in its tracks. That was quite impressive how quickly Liverpool got back there. Initially it was from the corner and tried to switch it out. Did Liverpool, and Vissa just nicked it away. Tried to get Brentford on the counter. But very impressive. The way Liverpool just got flooded their bodies right back into their shape. And now Brentford have it at the back here with Nathan Collins. Back it comes to Flecken. Pinnock. Diaz gone central, wants to press. Jota's just gone off to the left for a moment. That versatility of the likes of Jota, who can play off the left, as McAllister tries to win that one back and is deemed to have committed the foul on Johan Visa. The free kick goes Brentford's way. They try and kick that one quickly. It's switched across to the left-hand side. Alexander-Arnold trying to block it, does block it. Norgard now finds Christopher Ayer round the corner. And run out of room there, Kuhn Lewis Potter, but he does get the corner out of Alexander-Arnold. That's good from the youngster, who comes into the Brentford side today. 23-year-old. Now Brentford set piece. Both centre-backs for Brentford are up in Collins and Pinnock. See what they can create from this set piece. Lots of height in there. Right-footed delivery into the box. Konate to head clear. And Salah trying to get them on the counter. And here's Jota to pick it up. 2-on-2 for Liverpool. Jota to Diaz. Feeds it through the lines. And Diaz is running through. And Luis Diaz gives Liverpool the lead. The Red Arrows are back. And Arne Slot has got them firing. Luis Diaz opens the scoring at Anfield for Liverpool. From a Brentford corner. Right up the other end, and Luis Diaz to finish. It's Liverpool of old that we've seen under Jurgen Klopp, that ruthless counter-attacking ability. And it's from a Brentford corner. Konate heads it down, Salah stretches for it, it bounces favourably for Jota, who charges forward. Diaz spreads across, and Jota does really well to feint it in behind for Diaz, and Diaz just running in one-on-one with Flecken, who's standing still, really. Got no real chance, and it's a wonderful finish. And Luis Diaz, the first to score at Anfield under the Arne Slot era. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. And that is something that I'm sure Arne Slot will want to relive time and time and time again. Wonderful from Liverpool. Not the dominant, controlling football, but the pure instinct of attacking football from one end to the other in a matter of passes, a matter of touches, and always ruthless finishing. And that's probably one thing that's been missing from Luis Diaz's game since joining Liverpool, was that ruthless clinical finishing. Not enough end product at times, and I'm sure he'll want to prove himself now under the new manager. I'm sure as all the Liverpool players will, to try and get their place in the side. And Diaz certainly firing himself into a good position at the moment. Brentford up the other end with a throw in now. Long throw into the box. Konate again winning the header. And Alexander-Arnold trying to send Liverpool on the counter again. Could be deja vu here, as Salah's now running through. And he just gets beaten to it at the last second. He was in a beneficial position, but ultimately the defender got back just in time to close him out. Certainly a massive threat from Liverpool. When they get Brentford so high up the field, there's certainly that counter-attacking threat in behind, and they've got pace and power to do so. And that's got the crowd up now inside Anfield, singing along. 15 minutes gone, Liverpool lead. And that's got injected the energy into the Anfield crowd. Over 60,000 inside the stadium after its latest renovation. It's a real fortress of a stadium now. Many players in the Premier League have touted to be the toughest away game of their season, going to Anfield. Van Dijk, Diaz, back to Virgil van Dijk, Gravenberch, to Ibrahima Konate. Alexander-Arnold. Jota. Alexander-Arnold, heavy touch, but Jota wins it. Now Konate. But a keep ball from Liverpool for the moment. Well, Brentford have beaten Liverpool once since becoming a Premier League club back in 2021. They've met 6 times and 1 draw, 1 Brentford win, 4 Liverpool wins. 3 of those 4 Liverpool wins coming at home. Here's Dominic Szoboszlai. Now finds Salah on the right flank. Well covered across by Christopher Ayer. Salah will chase, but Liverpool will get the throw anyway. Salah back to Alexander-Arnold. Konate. Robertson. To Luis Diaz. Jota. McAllister. Now Robertson. Switches it out. Alexander-Arnold and Salah getting a bit of a muddle there. Alexander-Arnold tried to rescue it. Salah might have got it on the far side if Alexander had left it, but it goes out for a Brentford throw. And what a way to make your 100th appearance for Liverpool. For Luis Diaz to score. What a way to mark the Centurion. It's a nice challenge by Gravenberch to win the ball back from Brentford there. And that's again kind of part of the reason why he is in that defensive midfield role, for those little challenges, those little tackles that cleanly just takes the ball away from the opposition, and it's something that's so necessarily needed from a defensive midfielder. That's lovely from Robertson. Liverpool on the break again. Here's Diaz, flicks it across. Robertson tried to go in the near post. Keeper saves. Liverpool corner. Again, really fluid on the break again, Liverpool. Jota and Robertson could have gotten each other's way there, but Robertson picks it up. Jota leaves it, finds it to Diaz, and Diaz just going for the 1-2, returns it. Robertson continues on his run, and he just tries to sneak it in that near post with his left boot. It's rare that Robertson keeps those types of shots down, but he did that time, and he gets Liverpool a corner, which Alexander-Arnold will take momentarily. Alexander-Arnold ready to deliver this one in. Virgil van Dijk still battling with the goalkeeper as they tried to sneak it across the near post. Nathan Collins did flick it behind. He said that it was out of play before he had touched it, but the referee disagreed. And the free kick, the corner has been given again for Liverpool. So a retake here for Alexander-Arnold. Another one to try and whip this one in. The hand goes up. As a custom. Right for the delivery again. Narrow across the front post, and Flecken palms it away. And Bomo tries to get Brentford on the break, but Liverpool have numbers back there that can recover the ball. Konate. Interesting. Something to keep an eye on. Virgil van Dijk. Very rarely, if ever, under Jurgen Klopp did we see Virgil van Dijk on a goalkeeper from a corner. He usually wanted to get his distance to try and head the ball in, but he's using his physicality to try and put the goalkeeper off. Interesting. One to watch, because that's 2 or 3 corners in a row where he's been battling the goalkeeper. Gravenberch. Out to Salah. Salah to lift it across. Szoboszlai to chest it down in the box. Flicks it out to Alexander-Arnold. Back to Salah, who will shoot, and the shot goes wide there. That was wonderful fluidity again. Just when they get going, they're constantly, it's incredible from Liverpool, the speed at which they change the pace of the game from a methodical slow passing game to instantly breaking on the opponent, and it's so hard to defend. So far Liverpool almost perfect on those moments. Of course, Mo Salah as I mentioned already on the score sheet this season. Already got 1 goal and an assist. Shows his clear importance to Liverpool's attacking ability. His attacking play into his 8th season at Liverpool, I believe now, is Mo Salah. Absolute legend of the football club now. No doubt about it. They called him the King when he first arrived, and when he had that first season, that unbelievable first season in 2017-18, and no doubt he's the Egyptian king now. Most certainly a historic Liverpool player. The switch ball out to Salah, deft touch on the right flank, looks to drive in field, plays it forward for Szoboszlai. Back to Alexander-Arnold on the edge, right wide to Szoboszlai again. Central to Gravenberch, who will flick it forward. Robertson tries to reach, but just out of the reach of the Scotsman, and that will run out for a Brentford throw. Rochlev to take this throw in for Brentford. 22.5 minutes gone. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. Luis Diaz the scorer. Diaz again battling in the midfield and giving away a free kick. Flecken. Pinnock. Szoboszlai's not too afraid to pump forward as well. I've seen him making those late darting runs into the box once or twice when Liverpool go forward. Interesting to see how that develops. Liverpool continue with their press. Pinnock trying to play out, trying to squeeze it through a space that wasn't there. Salah now lays it off for Alexander-Arnold, and felt he was fouled there, did Alexander-Arnold, but Brentford giving him the benefit of the doubt there. Have to clear their lines here. Under pressure is Keane Lewis Potter by Szoboszlai. Laws really well. Nice footwork from the Brentford player, and Szoboszlai battling there with him. And winning that throw-in does the Brentford man. Ayer to take. Norgard. Back to Ayer. Finds a little gap for Visa. To Rochlev. Again, Yuan Visa very deep. Deeper than his usual positioning. Here's Rochlev. Again, has to go back to Collins. Liverpool looking to pack out the midfield. Jota putting pressure on Collins, who just about gets the pass off, but Diaz is there to nick that one away from Mbeumo. And Liverpool win the ball back with Robertson. Across to Alisson. Now out wide to Konate. Alexander-Arnold. A bit of pressure there. Darts it forward. Just goes out of play there from Alexander-Arnold. Throw into Brentford. Well, Brentford under Thomas Frank have been pretty much consistent since they joined the league in 2021. And a fantastic addition to the Premier League. Finished 13th in their first season in the league. Then got as high as 9th in their second season, improved. And then last season had a bit of a wobble. Finished 16th, but looking to consolidate their Premier League place and keep themselves as kind of one of those mainstays in the Premier League. Not many new clubs get past the second season syndrome, but it turned out the second season for Brentford was better than their first, which is very rare when it comes to clubs being promoted. But it just shows the consistency and the kind of the growth of Brentford since joining the Premier League club, in a sense. Here's Salah. Alexander-Arnold to Konate. Robertson. 26 minutes gone. At Anfield, Liverpool leading and controlling the ball at the moment. Here's Salah. Plays it in behind. Nice ball to Szoboszlai. Back out to Salah though. Alexander-Arnold. Again to Salah. Taking their time. Patience from Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold again. Plays it to Szoboszlai. Look to lift it across. Finds it out to the left-hand side for Diaz, who wants to get himself going, and has to cut across the box, and we'll get the free kick out of Christian Norgard there. That's good play from Luis Diaz. Tried to open up a shooting opportunity and couldn't find the space, and ultimately Norgard makes a pretty naive challenge. Runs right into Luis Diaz and gives Liverpool the free kick. In a good area, about 23 yards out. Slightly to the left of centre. Salah, Szoboszlai and Alexander-Arnold all over it. Brentford applying a 4-man wall. Let's see what the consensus is here from Liverpool. So they try and set up their kind of counter wall, in a sense, to figure out what their positioning's going to be. And I said that counter wall, Diaz and McAllister is in front of that Brentford wall. See more of that, a counter wall. And interesting, Van Dijk's positioning again at the back post. Fascinating. There's Salah, Szoboszlai and Alexander-Arnold's over it. Alexander-Arnold looks the more focused on it. Let's see. Whistle's gone. Alexander-Arnold takes, and just a bit too high from Trent Alexander-Arnold there. Goal kick to Brentford. Say it again, he got it over the wall. Just didn't get it back down in time, and was just curling wide anyway. A bit high and wide there from Liverpool number 66. It's Flecken ready to take this goal kick. Will go long, right up the middle. Will bounce its way past Brown and Burmo, and Liverpool will get the throw in. See who they were trying to target there, Brentford, but couldn't find their target. That's good play by Gravenberch and Robertson. Finds Konate. Alexander-Arnold's darting it down the right-hand side, but Konate wants to go left. Jota will pick it up. Takes it down, does McAllister. Lovely flick. Finds Robertson. Back in field. Szoboszlai was stretching. Couldn't quite grab it, and Vissa has to be taken down there. Quite cynically by Dominik Szoboszlai. And he will get a yellow card for that challenge. No questions about that one. Those will be the two main threats for Brentford today. Johan Vissa and Brian Mbeumo. Of course, no Ivan Toney for Brentford again. But it didn't look like it caused them any sort of problems last week. Without Ivan Toney. I'll be hoping that it doesn't cause any problems, or they have any problems without him this week as well. Free kick to be taken then, just inside Liverpool's half. Flecken will take. Pump it into the area as Van Dijk heads it clear, and Salah gets the bounce of the ball, but the referee said that he had fouled Keane Lewis-Potter in the process of getting that ball, and Brentford get another free kick, which is not a popular decision around the Anfield Stadium, because Stuart Atwell, certainly not a popular decision, that one from him, albeit massive amounts of kind of contact there, but there was a slight bit. Maybe he gave the referee a question to answer, really, I don't know. 30 minutes gone, 1-0. And Brentford have another free kick here. And it's Matthias Jensen and Brandon Burmo, I believe, that is over this one. It is. That will be in Burmo, I think, will take. It will be left-footed delivery. Flicked on and just wide by Christian Norgard, the Brentford captain. I think it might have deflected as well in some scenario there. Comes to nothing in the end. Robertson adjusted well there as he was in a bit of a difficult position. Liverpool back in control of the ball and wanting to push up the field. Brentford in a more of a 4-4-2 out of possession, which is interesting. We initially thought they were going to a back three because of Keane Lewis-Potter, who can play wing back, but he's dropped in a kind of left centre mid in that sense, left midfield, and just a 4-4-2 from Brentford. Very basic, but so far it's doing decent amounts of work as Gravenberch running the problems there as Jota tries to cover over and McAllister does, and the last touch came off a Liverpool player. I think they've given a free kick, have they? Just a throw in. No, free kick. Yeah, they did give a free kick there. I was wondering. Jota looked a bit bemused. Didn't hear the whistle, but free kick's been given to Brentford. Again, maybe a bit of a loose challenge to give away. It's not the most threatening, but nonetheless, Brentford have certainly had the better of it in terms of much more involvement in the game in the last few minutes or so. After a good spell of Liverpool dominance, Flecken takes this free kick, looking to lift it into the area again. Liverpool have lots of bodies there, and Jensen was the first to react to that one, and he just hits it well wide. Good delivery by Flecken. Flicked away by Van Dijk, I think, and it just falls for Matthias Jensen, who knocks well wide. Decent opportunity, but gone a begging for Brentford on that occasion. McAllister tried to dart it out to Salah, but well closed off as Keane Lewis-Potter's under pressure from Alexander-Arnold. He goes back to Ayer. Back to Flecken. Collins back to Flecken. Now Pinnock to Ayer. Try and go down the line. Ayer to Keane Lewis-Potter. Flicks it across the midfield. Finds Vissa in the middle. Now Lewis-Potter again. Does well with his feet. Switches it out to the right. Finds Rochlev. Now and Burmo, who was ultimately slightly closed down by Diaz, but he escapes that challenge. Norgard now out to Rochlev, who will deliver. And Konate, who won the header. And it goes behind for the corner. That was good covering by Ibrahima Konate. That looked like a good move from Brentford. And the cross from the right hand side from Rochlev. Ayer at the back post, and Konate did really well aerially there and headed that one behind for a corner. So far, Ibrahima Konate's been winning the vast majority of all those aerial duels for Liverpool. I mean, he won the header from a corner that led to the Liverpool goal. Here's another Brentford corner, left hand side. Right footed delivery to the box, flicked on at the front post, but again, no real threat there as Nathan Collins does well to adjust. Skips, but again, too many Liverpool bodies as Gravenberch tries to clear, but didn't get very far with that one. Rochlev tries to lift it back forward for Brentford, but Alexander-Arnold there picks it up. Tries to find Salah in behind, who's made the run. And Burmo on the cover. Burmo does pick up the ball, but Salah's in the vicinity. And then Burmo goes back to his keeper. That's good play from Brentford, but again, you can see what Liverpool are trying to do in moments. There are glimpses of it. Certainly Brentford have maybe got a hold of their own game a bit more and starting to try and play their own attacking football and want to wrestle back the control of this game. Vissa. Excuse me. Pinnock finds it into space. And the left comes Lewis Potter. Back he comes with it, looking to switch it. Headed flicked on by Rochlev. Cleared away by Van Dijk. Couldn't keep that one in was Luis Diaz. Brentford throw on that occasion. Just seeing Gravenberch there trying to pop it forward, and you see Diaz has made the run in behind. He just got it a bit short. If he got the distance on that one, Gravenberch, Diaz could have been in one-on-one again with the keeper. You can see Brentford being dragged in. Liverpool just trying to drag them closer and closer in, and Liverpool just trying to go over the top of Brentford. Completely bypass the midfield and just trying to go over the top. We saw it from one of their goal kicks as well, just completely pop it forward, bypass the midfield passively. Here's Jota, tries to dart it into Szoboszlai's path. He's well marked there, Szoboszlai. Beaten off the ball as Gravenberch committed himself there, and that's going to be a free kick for Brentford and a yellow card as well. That's two of Liverpool's midfielders now on a yellow. See this again. Yeah, it's nothing more than a yellow for me. It's not a yellow. It's not. Certainly not a red. I think a yellow is the correct decision. And Gravenberch there in the book for the first time this season, joining his teammate Dominik Szoboszlai, the other player to be booked so far. Well, there's one of Liverpool's former players in Fabio Carvalho, who joined Brentford last week, and Sepp Vandenberg as well is also out there warming up. Anfield, not unfamiliar territory for those two, but in different colours this time. Could be playing on this pitch a bit later on. We will see. Rochlev. Closing down there by McAllister. Brentford get the throw. 6.5 minutes of the first half to go. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. There's Diaz with a score. Liverpool on the counter on that goal, but I'm sure Arne Slot will be looking for improvements if this is the score at half time. Brentford have held their own in this first half, to be fair. Collins. Rochlev. Trying to flick it on was Mbeumo, but Luis Diaz in the way, and Diaz himself flicks it forward and finds Jota. Szoboszlai making the run, and Jota couldn't break past his man. And I think the referee's just going to stop this for Luis Diaz, and he's going to give a yellow card out for the challenge on Diaz after the ball was already well away. And Norgard is the one that's going to get that yellow card. The Brentford captain. See the challenge again. I mean, he just comes in and completely barges Luis Diaz out of the way. The ball was already gone. He just completely shoves Luis Diaz out of the way. I mean, there's just no need for that at all, really. And that's Brentford captain, his first yellow card of the season. And Liverpool get the free kick. Robertson is going to take this one. Trying to figure out what he's going to do there. Finds McAllister. Now Gravenberch. Back to Van Dijk. Across to Alisson. It's closed down by Vesa, but Alisson does get the ball forward. Nice ball forward to Salah. Nice Szoboszlai. Gravenberch tips it round the corner. Nice ball to find McAllister, and this is good from Liverpool again. Here's Alexander-Arnold looking to strike in the deflection. Takes it over the bar. That was really good movement by Liverpool and well calculated. You knew that was intentional. You could see that they have been working on those types of movements in the training, and Alexander-Arnold just tries to come off the right hand side and strike it with his left. It's a decent strike, and it's gone behind off Collins maybe, or Norgard, one of the two. And it will be a Liverpool corner. Left-footed delivery by Robertson. Flicked away, cleared away at their near post. And Byrne will try to break away for Brentford. And this time he will have a chase on, but Gravenberch will easily see that back to his keeper. It's good covering by the last man there for Liverpool, Ryan Gravenberch. Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold. To Dominic Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold feinted it round the corner, finds Gravenberch, very central for Liverpool. This little moment of play as they come wide now with Salah. Salah looking to step onto his left and looking to strike it, and actually it turned into a cross there for a moment. It ended up right in the hands of Mark Flecken. Liverpool press high and Van Dijk commits himself, and now Liverpool have a counter to deal with. Mbeumo breaks away. But that's really good covering again, getting bodies round the ball, getting bodies back very quickly, Liverpool. Here's Jota. Here's to feed it up the field for Diaz, but Brentford cover that one off again. It's twice we've seen Liverpool maybe commit once or twice a bit too much, and Brentford try and break on the counter, and again Liverpool get bodies in the way as Brentford come forward, and the shot straight down the throat of Alisson from Keane Lewis-Potter. Good break again this time in a one-on-one tussle with Alexander-Arnold, and he just goes past him a bit too easily there, you would have to say, and decent effort, but an okay comfortable save for Alisson, not really testing the Liverpool keeper very much there, but could have been, as Alisson tries to go long to Salah. He just couldn't keep that one in. A bit too much on that one. Throw in for Brentford in their own half, down the left hand side, taking their time, and they'll win another one. The throw in comes straight off a Liverpool player. Ayer. Lewis-Potter looking to switch it, does switch it again to Rochlev. It's a couple of times we've seen that. This Jensen tried to be closed down by McAllister, but again a bit overcommittal, as McAllister does win it back the second time from his teammate there, or from the Brentford player Rochlev, and Liverpool get a free kick as McAllister's on the floor. And another yellow card coming out here. And a free, and it's to Matthias Jensen. Quite a lot of yellow cards coming out. All midfielders so far. Matthias Jensen, the latest to be booked, joining his teammate Christian Norgard, and two Liverpool players, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, all carded in this first half. Alisson darts it forward again. Salah on the spin, trying to break forward, but this time well marshalled and pulled down. Gets the free kick. And Liverpool not allowed to take it quickly. Here's Szoboszlai. Two added minutes at the end of the half then. That's a wasted pass by Gravenberch, a bit loose. Robertson got beaten past, but Gravenberch on the cover wins it back. We see that a couple of times where Liverpool, if they do overcommit, do lose the ball, there's always someone else there to track back and help out. Close the space down. Szoboszlai in a tussle there with Ayer, wins the battle, does Szoboszlai. But again, not the best pass. Ball sent down the channel that Johan Vesa can't chase, and Ibrahima Konate will see out for a Liverpool throw. Just seeing Arne Slot telling his side to push up. There, as you can see. Of course, I'm sure he'll have one or two things to talk about with the team, a few improvements at half-time with Liverpool. Of course, still getting to know their the new system, the new ideas, the new voice, really, at half-time. Simple things like that. I'm sure they're still getting used to that. So far, it's not been a bad first half from Liverpool. They do lead, which is the big difference. But also Brentford have found their way into the game as the halves went on. Salah again being pulled and tugged at there, and Ayer getting frustrated. But the referee says play on as Brentford have the ball down the left. Lewis Potter tries to cut it back. Konate overstretched. Gravenberch does slide in to clear it away. And now Szoboszlai. Liverpool might have one last attack for the half. Forward for Alexander-Arnold. 2 minutes are up. Liverpool on the attack here with Alexander-Arnold. And they're not going to continue with that attack. And there's the half-time whistle. A first half which has saw the Red Arrows return. Something of old for Liverpool. Ruthless counter-attacking pace gave them that goal from Luis Diaz. But a first half where there are some improvements still needed. But Liverpool on top and in control a sense. Brentford have held their own in a sense in this first half, but it is the home side that lead. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0 at the break. Analysis on the way next. Welcome back to Premier League Live for our second of our double header. This match week 2 of the Premier League. This is the final game of the weekend. Liverpool taking on Brentford. 9 games already, full of action, full of drama and full of goals, it seems, all throughout the weekend. Just the one draw so far over this weekend. Bournemouth against Newcastle. Controversial draw indeed, but a draw nonetheless. It was the final score. Everyone else winning or losing their games. Brighton won at home, West Ham won away. Home wins for Fulham and Man City. A visiting win for Nottingham Forest. Spurs made it comfortable at home as well with their victory, and Arsenal winning away from home yesterday. This afternoon we saw Bournemouth draw 1-1 with Newcastle, and Chelsea convincingly beat Wolves by 6 goals to 2 at Molineux, becoming the highest scoring game of the season so far. And at half-time, Liverpool leading Brentford by 1-0, and I would say the scoreline is a pretty fair reflection of that first half. Liverpool lead, but only narrowly, and I'd say they've just slightly edged that first half. I wouldn't say they've been convincingly the better side or massively on top or destroying Brentford of any sort in that first half. I'd say Liverpool were edging it, they were slightly the better side, but again, if they're going to want to command this game and really see nothing from Brentford, they're going to have to up the level. But Brentford, as I said, have held their own in that first half, and they're still very much in this game. The stats read the exact same way at half-time. Liverpool edging the possession, 56% in their favour to 44 for Brentford. Both sides have had 5 shots in the game. but the difference being Liverpool's shots much more threatening, 0.70 xG to Brentford 0.19. So Brentford are having more the same amount of shots, just not the same amount of threat from those shots. Liverpool edging the corners as well, 4-2. More passes from Liverpool, slightly. Brentford winning more free kicks though, which is interesting. In that first half. In terms of territory, the majority of the ball is in the midfield, the middle third of the field. 47% of the possession was in that middle third of that first half. 22% in Liverpool's defensive third, 31% in Brentford's final defensive third. So basically edging it slightly, Liverpool, in terms of territory. And in terms of possession, that's basically the way the first half's gone. Liverpool started the better side, continued the better side. Brentford still holding their own, having their slight moments, but not much really to prove of that so far. The goal came from a moment where Liverpool weren't dominant in the game, weren't threatening, and weren't kind of on the front foot in that sense. They were defending a corner when they got their chance for their goal. A corner came in, Kanate headed it down, Salah flicked it round the corner to find Jota, and Jota sent the Reds on the counter, which ultimately led to Luis Diaz finding the net one-on-one with Mark Flecken. A really clinical goal, and I said it in that first half, a reminder of the Liverpool of old that we saw probably about 5 or 6 years ago under Jurgen Klopp, when they had the best front three in the world in the likes of Salah, Firmino and Mane, and they had that incredible counter-attacking pace, just blast their way forward on a team and completely outrun them in terms of counter-attacking. They've kind of gone away from that a bit more as the years went on. Maybe a new era, maybe reigniting that old Liverpool of old. They've always scored counter-attacking goals, but this is just, it's nostalgic. It's that great to watch of what we saw from Liverpool from years gone by. But really clinical counter-attack, and I said it was something that Luis Diaz hadn't really shown in his Liverpool career so far. That enough kind of clinical edge, enough kind of end product. Really good in terms of the build-up play and the approach play and the tiki-taka football and the little touches and the little flicks and all of that. It was just the end product that he's kind of struggled with a bit more. But maybe under the new manager we could see a difference there for Luis Diaz. And with a lot of Liverpool attacks, they came down the right-hand side, of course, and that right-hand side is as dominant as can be. When they do get flowing, the likes of an Alexander-Arnold and a Salah, and then maybe Szoboszlai drifting out there as well at times, they can find themselves in a really good position. And Alexander-Arnold has a good chance off the right-hand side as well. Chops off onto his left foot. Similarly, what we usually see of Salah, we saw from Alexander-Arnold, and the shot deflected. Robertson had a chance at the other end as well, down the left-hand side, and he tried to sneak it in the near post. So there have been good chances for Liverpool in that first to add to their one-goal lead, but I wouldn't say clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, more half chances than anything. One thing I would say is Jota's been heavily involved. He got the assist for the goal, but other than that, maybe we haven't seen him kind of as an out-and-out centre-forward. Maybe that's the idea. He is the centre-forward, but in a sense he's been a bit more fluid. He's dropped to the left, he's dropped in behind, he's been very fluid and moving around that front line in that first half. Jota and Diaz, interesting linking up well. Szoboszlai as well, coming a bit further forward, and then of course Mo Salah in his position. But I think we've seen a bit more of the left-hand side today rather than the right-hand side, where they attacked Ipswich last week almost exclusively down the right. Was where they got their best chances. It's where they got both of their goals last week. But the left-hand side's been a bit more evident today, and it's good to see that Liverpool can have kind of different strings to their bow, or whatever the saying is, different ways of attacking a team. And I'm sure Arne Slot will want to build that with the side, different ways of beating a team, not just breaking them down and kind of whipping crosses in, or kind of dominating and running a side down and tapping it in. More different ways of winning football matches. I would say they would need a bit more improvement in that second half. I think Liverpool have been maybe sloppy on occasion, a few loose passes, but of course with a new system, a new manager, a new voice, as I already mentioned, you could see a few of those sticky issues in the early games. But I think overall, for a new regime, what is it, 135 minutes or something like that into a new regime, a game and a half, it looks pretty well for Liverpool. They look to have grasped the system pretty well, and are still in control. I just don't think they've been kind of battled out of the game at all in that first half. I think they're still very much, still slightly on top. But again, as I said, Brentford, there's a lot of positives that they can take out of that first half as well. The fact that kind of they did have that counter-attacking of themselves. Yes, Liverpool did have cover in those counter-attacking positions, which will give Liverpool confidence, but there's still that threat there for Brentford. They've had a couple of half-decent opportunities. Nothing really clear-cut in that first half, but I think they've held their own. They've been battling in midfield. They certainly have a clear style and want way to play. That they're getting the ball wide and offering those options from there. And the key men, as I said, would be today Johan Visa and Brown and Burmo for Brentford. They will be their two key players, and if they play well, Brentford usually, more often than not, play well. And we'll see what they can offer in that second half, because nothing is decided yet, very far from anything being decided. But I think both sets of fans will be okay with that first half. Liverpool will feel that it was a good first half, a good first 45 minutes, getting the goal, having the lead, but Brentford will also know still very much in this game, and at Anfield you can never take that for granted, that you're still very much in the game, because more often than not Liverpool put games to bed here at Anfield, and of recent times they very rarely ever go on to lose a game at Anfield from a winning position. But we'll see what the second half has to hold. As I mentioned, we've already seen quite a number of goals and quite a number of games this weekend. 9 games down, and this one is the only one to be decided. Just one draw, 8 other winning results. A few interesting away wins this weekend. Arsenal, West Ham and Chelsea all winning away from home, which is big for those. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa and Wolves, all decent sides at home last season, but interestingly that they have gone to fall to defeat. A few sides failing to score this weekend already. Everton, again, back-to-back weekends without a goal. Same for Southampton, both losing in back-to-back weeks. Aston Villa, they're on 3 points after they lost to Arsenal last night, and Crystal Palace, as I said, failing to score at home for the first time this season. Not a good return to home for the new season for Palace. Let's just have a quick look at the table, because this is one thing that we don't look at the table and we don't take too much to do with the table early in a season, but there is a but there coming. You do keep an eye on the table, because why can't you? Why don't you? Let's have a look at the top 10 then. This is the way the table looks as it stands, with Liverpool winning at this moment in time. Manchester City lead the way, 6 points, plus 5 goal difference. Brighton in second, they're on 6 points, plus 4. Arsenal on plus 4 on 6 points as well, but Brighton have scored 1 further goal. Arsenal still yet to concede. Liverpool, as it stands, would jump up to 4th. They'd be also on 6 points. Would be the only 4 sides to have a 100% record if Liverpool are to win this one. Tottenham, Newcastle and Forest are the 3 sides that remain unbeaten in this campaign. 1 win and 1 draw from their first 2 games. Chelsea a win and a defeat. West Ham and Brentford popping up the top half. In terms of the bottom half, it's not good reading for the other side of Merseyside, as Everton are propping up the table at the bottom. Not a point on the board, not a goal even as well. One of only 2 sides in the league yet to score this season, along with Southampton. Everton bottom on -7 goal difference. Wolves on -6 now after they conceded 6 today alone. Lost 2-0 last week, 6-2 this week. Wolves in the bottom 3. Ipswich also in the bottom 3. And Palace and Southampton both yet to get off the mark. Leicester, Bournemouth, Villa, Man United and Fulham make up the bottom half. Right, the second half at Anfield is on the way next. Welcome back to Premier League Live. Half-time at Anfield, Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. The second half on the way in just a moment. Don't forget, in midweek, the second round of the Carabao Cup takes place Tuesday and Wednesday nights. We'll be live on Tuesday as Birmingham host Fulham on Tuesday nights for their tie in the second round. I do apologise, there's a bit of an issue with my system here. That's on Tuesday night. We have that game for you, and we'll be keeping an eye on all of the ties on Tuesday night. Before on Wednesday night we watch an all-Premier League tie as Nottingham Forest take on Newcastle. And the draw, an interesting draw, but the draw will be done, and we'll explain all the rules of the third round draw, which Liverpool will be in on Wednesday night. Right, the players are ready to come back out for the second half. Liverpool re-entering the field with a 1-goal lead and wanting to convert that lead into 3 points to get their season off to a 100% start. They already got one win under the into the bag. They want to make it 2 from 2. Otherwise, and Brentford wanting to do the exact same thing after they won their opening game as well against Crystal Palace. They want to make it 2 from 2, but they have to come from behind at Anfield, which is a very difficult thing to do. If you're a Brentford player, they're keeping us waiting. And the players ready to go for the second half. Arne Slot is having a chat with a few of his backroom staff as Brentford do re-enter the fields. Very even, I'd say, first half. In that sense, Liverpool, as I said, slightly edging it, but not by very much. So Arne Slot, I'm sure, would have had a chat with his players at half-time and probably reiterating the similar things. I don't think Liverpool would change too much in the second half or make anything, do anything very differently, but just tweaking a few things, just ironing a few things out that maybe they could improve for this second half. Ready to go then. Players back out on the fields. There we are, back on the way for the second half then. Liverpool attacking the Kop ends, as is customary here at Anfield for the second half. As there's a free kick going to be given here to Brentford. Jota, a challenge on Collins. Looked a bit innocuous, that. And Collins in a bit of pain, bit of bother at the moment. Jota's just going to have a chat with the referee. There's nothing in that. Oh, there's just nothing in that, really. I don't think there's anything in that, to be honest. Nathan Collins, I think, makes a meal of that whole situation. I think they're both grappling at each other, but maybe Jota's arm just maybe slightly catches him. I don't know. It looks a bit soft to me. Nonetheless, free kick to Brentford. No changes at half-time, by the way. No substitutions. Flecken goes long with this free kick. So Liverpool will pick it up through Szoboszlai. Konate. Back to Alisson. Konate. Down the line it goes. Finds Szoboszlai in space now, and he's got body space in front of him. Looks to switch it across. Finds Robertson central. Now out to Diaz on the left. Body's in the box. Diaz looks to lift it. Jota tried to adjust. Goes for the overhead kick, and Robertson. Big save by Flecken. Looked like Jota was going to have a good chance at scoring, and the overhead kick didn't really have much pace on it, and Robertson came flying in, try and force it into the net past Flecken, but a really good reactionary save from the Brentford keeper. Denied Liverpool a second. It was Robertson in that area, well onside. I don't think there would be any issues with offside there. Yeah, definitely not. He just takes it right in the face, does Mark Flecken. It's a really good early chance for Liverpool. And that's really good goalkeeping. And he's just receiving a slight bit of treatment for the moment, just to make sure he's okay. Here's Mark Flecken. He will get back to his feet. As okay to continue. The physio's done all the checks they need to. And we play on. Corner for Liverpool, left-hand side. As Flecken tries to organise his defence for this corner. Robertson to take the corner. Left-footed delivery. Whipping towards the back post. Visit up and clearing it away as Szoboszlai will recycle it back to Gravenberch. Alexander-Arnold. Gravenberch to Szoboszlai. And back to Allison. Alexander-Arnold out on the left-hand side this time. McAllister squeezes it through to find Diaz. More central than normal for Diaz. Finds Szoboszlai. Nice Salah. Again, bodies arriving as Szoboszlai goes for the 1-2, and Diaz tried to flick it and took a block in there from one of the Brentford players, and now Brentford want to counter themselves. Vissa trying to find Mbermo. He's one-on-one with Van Dijk. It's Liverpool trying to get bodies back now. And Robertson covering over Vissa. Here is Mbermo. And a break into the box. Jota just eases him out of the way. And Liverpool get the ball back. McAllister finds it out to Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold looking to find Salah over the top. And Mark Flecken was quick. And he needed to be as he booted that one clear of Salah. As the ball took a deflection off Szoboszlai there as it came back. Brentford get the throw. So see this again. Again, a similar idea to maybe the one of last week. Maybe a bit more direct this time, Liverpool, on that situation than they were against Ipswich. Alexander-Arnold and Salah linking up again. That little ball in behind. Salah making that run. This time Flecken was quick to it and committed himself and did well to clear it away. Here's Nathan Collins. Right to Rushlev. Back to Collins. Who's back to Flecken. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. Liverpool come out wanting to assert a bit more dominance. But Brentford want to get themselves involved. Here's Keane Lewis-Potter breaking forward again. Bright little spark for Brentford. Here's Mbermo who will shoot. And the deflection took it wide. Could have went anywhere, that one. Allison had no chance. Even if it was on target, he was completely caught off guard there. It was clearly wide. It was no worries on that one. But from the wide angle, it looked a lot closer than it was. Canate flicked it well behind for the corner. Set piece for Brentford. Lots of bodies at the back post. Got a short option as well from that corner. Let's see. They do go short. Jensen. Right-footed delivery. Van Dijk to head it clear. And Rushlev with the optimistic one. Goes well wide. Canate. Alexander-Arnold. There's to go down the right flank. Salah tracking back. Does get on the ball. Lost it there for a second. Szoboszlai finds Alexander-Arnold. Looks to feed it across. Lovely ball to find Jota. Jota wants to shoot. Closed down well there by Collins. That's a lovely ball by Alexander-Arnold. Spot that pass and just deliver it right onto the foot of Jota was beautiful. Quality. Fabulous. Gravenberch. Konate. Alexander-Arnold. Back to Konate again. into Salah's path now. He tries to spin on the ball, goes down. Referee waved away a penalty claim. So here's Keane Lewis-Potter again, marked by both Salah and Alexander-Arnold, and the last touch off the Brentford man, and Liverpool win the throw. They take it quickly. Szoboszlai. Salah. Again, couldn't spin. Szoboszlai keeps it alive. Alexander-Arnold. Now Szoboszlai again. As Alexander-Arnold tries to go for the cross. It took a deflection, but ultimately into the hands of Mark Flecken. No real worry there for Brentford. Brentford have played at Anfield 3 times in the Premier League, and Liverpool have won all 3 occasions and keeping clean sheets on all 3 occasions. Liverpool 3-0 on 2 occasions and 1-0 in May 2023. 3 wins, 7 goals scored for Liverpool and none conceded. 8 if you count this game so far. Diaz does well there, tracking back, finds Van Dijk. Now Gravenberch looking for options forward as Brentford have really tried to narrow that midfield 4. And a space wide here for Alexander-Arnold. Looks to go for the cross, low, but again too close to Mark Flecken. But again, that's one thing for Brentford. They might want to narrow the pitch, but Alexander-Arnold's not going to come narrow. He's always going to offer that wide option, and another opportunity for Liverpool to break there. That was, again, did come to ultimately nothing, but again a good threat from Alexander-Arnold down that side. Throw into Brentford down this left hand side. Gravenberch there tries to cover off that throw in. Ultimately goes out for the corner. Brentford have had a number of corners so far. This is their 4th, I believe. 2nd of the second half. Inside 10 minutes. Left hand side this one. Taken short again. And Burmo. Back to Jensen, who looks to deliver to the back post. And the header. And a really good save by Alisson. And now Konate tries to break away, but Liverpool didn't get very far with that one. It's Brentford now back in it. Here's Mbeumo. Alexander-Arnold trying to cover him off, and the flag went up against Bryan Mbeumo for offside. That's a good save by Alisson. Short corner taken, and it's back with Jensen. It's delivered wonderfully into the box to the back post, and I think it was Collins that got the header, and Alisson just makes the save right in front of him. Pushes it up into the air and palms it away, but good reactionary save from Alisson. There's a lot more positives for Brentford. Game, albeit Liverpool leading, but game really hangs in the balance. Where the second goal is going to come from is anybody's guess at this point as to which way it will go. Brentford have come very close there, and Liverpool have come close a number of times as well. Van Dijk winning the header, brought down by McAllister. He's facing away from the attack, but he does well to reverse it round the corner to Robertson, and tried to square it across to Jota. Just took a deflection away from him, but Robertson picks it back up. Gravenberch finds Robertson. Konate. Down the right hand side it comes to Salah. Round the corner to Alexander-Arnold. Looks to cut it back. Good covering. Salah looks to pick it up. Shot charged down well by Collins. Well, there was a free kick anyway going Brentford's way in the process of that whole little scuffle. Good move again by Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold darting down that right hand side, looks to cut it back into the box, and Brentford just piling that area out with lots of bodies. And ultimately Brentford got the free kick out of that situation. Flecken to take this free kick. Goes long up the middle. Van Dijk again targeted against Mbeumo, but he leaves it this time, and Alisson will just collect for Liverpool comfortably. I wouldn't say benches are going to be moving very soon, but I would say that substitutes could come into question in the latter stages of this game. Salah does really well to hold off Ayer. Here's Szoboszlai. Salah comes central. Links it up with McAllister. Now Robertson. Again good from Liverpool. Here's Diaz. Cuts it back for Salah on the edge of the box. Couldn't catch it right there. McAllister though darts it out to Alexander-Arnold. Across and Jota over the bar. The crisp, sharp passing from Liverpool is wonderful to watch, and all it's lacking is the finish here. Beautiful ball by McAllister, and Alexander-Arnold given that wide option again, and he just cuts it back right onto the toes of Jota, bouncing towards him, and he just tries to side foot it in, and it takes a deflection. It's Collins on the cover. I didn't see that from the first angle, but I saw it from that one. That's really good defending. Liverpool get another corner. Left-footed delivery. Van Dijk with a header, but bounces into the hands of Mark Flecken. Again, Liverpool coming very close to adding a second. Here's Visa. Wants to get Brentford forward. Marked all the way by Szoboszlai. Gravenberch there to hook it clear, but ultimately gives it the pass straight back to Brentford. Somehow, as Diaz, well challenged there, wins it back for Liverpool and tries to evade a couple of challenges himself and does really well to just keep Liverpool in possession. Luis Diaz. Here's McAllister. Robertson to McAllister. Now Diaz again. It's the crowd supporting their side the whole way through, trying to help them to force a second goal. Here's Salah. Lovely switch ball again. Plays it straight through to Alexander-Arnold. Nice give and go. Salah linking up with everybody. Need a finish here. McAllister to Salah. Oh, just goes behind. That would have been one of the best team goals of the season if that had went in. Salah linking up with everybody on the front line. Almost all four players. It was all four players linking up with Salah. Run right from right to left, and that is sensational. And again, tracked all the way with Salah, and they are trying their very best here, Liverpool, to add a second. And Brentford are deflecting and blocking and stopping everything in their tracks, but not for the want of trying for Liverpool. Another corner. This time it will be an in-swinger from Alexander-Arnold. Right-footed across goal and off the post, maybe. Off that front post. Back again it comes. Robertson looks to deliver again. Konate! Straight into the hands of Flecken. Good header. Just right down the throat of Flecken ultimately. They're certainly pushing for this second goal now, Liverpool. Lots of chances being created here, there and everywhere. The two centre-backs of Liverpool were in there that time, and Konate with a header. It's got the crowd up again, with Liverpool creating a lot of chances. It's about how Brentford see their way through this moment without any damage, if they could. Gravenberch just overstepped it there a bit, giving it away. Janelt trying to spin it round the corner, but the waste of possession there from Brentford's point of view. Liverpool have it back again. Alisson. Konate. Certainly see an upping in the level from Liverpool from first half to second half. This time without a personnel change. Maybe just a bit more speed, and that's a lovely ball by Alisson. Finds Alexander-Arnold, who picked up a pocket of space in the centre. Now out the left it comes. Jota. Looking to lift it across. Not really targeting a man there, just targeting a space as Brentford clear away. Gravenberch. Szoboszlai. Liverpool desperately looking for a second goal that would ease maybe some wary concerns. Brentford still in this game, could nick something. A second would certainly settle those nerves, if there is any. McAllister. Gravenberch. Salah. Salah again just got a bit muddled but does get the pass off. Gravenberch. Szoboszlai round the corner. Robertson again making that run, pressuring the full back, and Brentford hook it away through Mads Roerslev. Again, right back come Liverpool. Here's Diaz. Gravenberch. Diaz. Jota. Cuts it back to Gravenberch. Waiting for the right opportunity, Liverpool to pounce. Konate. Finds it out to Salah on the right. Looks to take his man on. Gets past Ayer. Salah across. Dropping ball. Diaz off the post. Very, very close. Once again, Liverpool down that right-hand side. Salah takes his man on an Ayer. Leaves him for dead. Cuts it back. And the ball just drops right for Diaz. Almost on the penalty spot. And he just tries to whip his foot around it. Doesn't catch it cleanly. And Flecken with a strong right hand, or strong left hand, puts it behind for the corner. Again, coming ever so close, Liverpool. Once again, knocking on the door. Alexander-Arnold to take this corner. Looking for an option. Feeds it across, and Szoboszlai tried to head it clean. But now Brentford have a counter they want to develop. And here's Mbeumo. He's got Ayer running forward. Liverpool again getting bodies back, and Szoboszlai, who took that shot, tracks Mbeumo all the way back to block him that time. But throw in goes Brentford's way, but they take quickly, and the cross is too deep. And Lewis Potter couldn't keep that one in. It's a rare moment where Brentford did come forward, and they're going to make changes now. Brentford. So Keane Lewis Potter is going to make way, and Mikkel Damsgaard is going to be his replacement. And the second substitution is going to see former Liverpool player Fabio Carvalho introduced, and Matthias Jensen is going to be coming off for him. So Jensen and Lewis Potter off, and Carvalho and Damsgaard on. Fabio Carvalho, of course, scored a late winner here against Newcastle in Liverpool Red a season or two ago. Was in the pre-season squad with Liverpool on their tour in America. Came back to England, and clearly surplus to requirements here. And to the benefit of Brentford. Here comes Diaz, now finds Jota. Closed down again. Here's Robertson. Cuts it back to Jota. Really desperate to push for this, Liverpool. But each and every time they come forward, Brentford hold their own, get back, and do whichever is necessary to keep the ball out of the net. And they've done so successfully so far, as Gravenberch does really well at popping it around the midfield. Here's Jota. Diaz gets a bit muddled, but does keep the possession. Szoboszlai. Just over a quarter of this game to go. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. Certainly one-way traffic at the moment. Kopp trying to suck the ball into the back of the net, but so far not able to find that second goal, Liverpool. Could they turn to the bench, as they did multiple times last season? 12 goals by substitutes last season, Liverpool. Certainly that's an area where they can find that little edge. That's a lovely bit of move between Diaz and Salah, and Alexander-Arnold picks it up now. Going to lift it for Szoboszlai. Nice Salah, looking to curl it, but too close to Flecken there from Mo Salah. Easily gathered by the Brentford keeper. Collins. Back to Flecken. Out it goes to Ayer. Right, Carvalho. To Visa. Johan Visa. Trying to find it through. Finds Damsgaard. And now Rochlev finds Mbermo. It's a good move from Brentford. Rochlev. Closed down by Van Dijk. And Robertson ultimately won the challenge. Ends up losing out in another battle. As Liverpool back on the defensive for a moment. Norgard. Looking to find a little bit of space as Janelt goes back to Ayer. Brentford controlling the possession. Liverpool half for the moment. And find a neat ball through and Mbermo goes down. The referee has not given anything. And the offside flag goes up against Brian Mbermo. The assistant was certain it was offside. I'll see it again. Ooh, it's close that. Robertson is just playing, was just the last man for Liverpool, but maybe just slightly offside there. It's a close one. It's not a penalty anyway. Nothing to do with that, but he's just offside there, Brian Mbermo. Robertson was claiming his innocence anyway. I don't think it would have been given if it wasn't offside. I don't think it was a foul, but would have been interesting to see what VAR would have had to say, but nonetheless, all academic, as I said, offside. There's a nice ball in behind here this time for Mbermo. Again, lost his balance. Again, claiming that he was pulled down, but there's no real touch on him at all. Here's Alexander-Arnold. Has the space. Tries to find Salah over the top again. Flecken was composed there. Played it out. Carvalho tried to link up. Battling with what would be his former teammates now. Here's Diaz. And now Salah. And Salah is through. And Salah! To make it 2. As he did last week. He does this week. The clinical finisher. Mo Salah. To double Liverpool's lead. A second goal they've been craving for the whole of this second half. And it's no doubt which man gets it in the end. Mo Salah. 2-2 for Liverpool. There might be a slight look from offside because it looked very, very close. We'll see it again. They win it back in midfield, Liverpool. And Diaz just sneaks it. And I think he's just onside, Salah. The man at the far side playing him on, I think. But it's very close. I think Mo Salah gets his goal here, I believe. Liverpool fans believe so too. And the decision is a goal. And Mo Salah back to his best, it seems. When he's at his best, he always finds the nets. And at the minute, looks like he's back to the top. The cream always rises to the top. The best always show themselves when they're needed. And it looks like Mo Salah is showing himself again. Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. And that's on cue for substitutes. So Jota and Diaz are going to be coming off. The two that combined for the first Liverpool goal here this afternoon. They're going to be coming off. And coming on in their places, it's going to be Cody Gakpo and Darwin Nunez. So Gakpo and Nunez coming on, replacing Diaz and Jota. And also, another change incoming. Alexander-Arnold is going to be making way. And Connor Bradley is going to come on for him. The Northern Irishman replacing the Liverpool vice-captain. I don't think he's particularly happy at going off Alexander-Arnold, but needs must. Liverpool making 3 changes in one go. The joys of
leading and looking comfortable. Brentford are going to make changes of their own. Another double change incoming for Brentford. Vitaly Janelt is going to make way. One of those changes. And Frank Onyeka is going to be coming on in his place. And coming on as well is Kevin Schade. And he's going to replace Johan Vissa. So Onyeka and Schade on. And Vissa and Janelt on. Off. Sorry. Schade tries to get himself involved in a tussle with Konate with his first involvement. And Konate wins that battle. Brentford try and high press again, but Liverpool play out of that well as Bradley finds Szoboszlai. And now a bit of space for Liverpool to break forward. Szoboszlai holding up the ball for the moment. Here's Salah. Bradley on the overlap. Salah cuts it across to McAllister. And the chip it to find Salah again. As Brentford just deal with that for the moment. As Bradley battling out there with Carvalho. And Salah now joining in. As Carvalho tries to clear it away, but Nunez there to pick it back up for Liverpool. Gravenberch to McAllister. Now Van Dijk. Robertson. 16 minutes to go at Anfield. Liverpool 2. Brentford 0. Diaz and Salah the scorers. It was Jota and Salah last week. Jota set up the first goal this week, so good start to the season for those two. And so far it would be a very good start to the season and under the new era of Arne Slot. 2 wins it would be if they were to see this through, and if they weren't to concede it would be 2 clean sheets as well. McAllister. Konate to Connor Bradley. Linking up with Gravenberch. Give and go. Here's Salah. To Gravenberch. And back to Konate. 15 minutes to go. Liverpool leading by 2-0 and probably just looking to manage this one a bit more now. Salah. To Alexis McAllister. To Gravenberch. Again finds the space to break forward in midfield as Gravenberch. Liverpool coming forward again. Down the left it goes to Gakpo. Back to Robertson now. Gakpo again. Gravenberch. I'm going to squeeze it through that little gap. Robertson does keep it on the attack. Here's Bradley. Nice Salah. Squeeze it through to find McAllister, but Salah will pick it up again and lift it in behind, and Nunez just tried to adjust, couldn't in the end, and Flecken will gather. Again, it's really good from Salah. He's picking up a loose ball and putting it in first time. Nunez just comes off his right shoulder and couldn't adjust in time to figure it out, but big season for Darwin Nunez, I would say. The way Jota started this campaign so far, albeit only 2 games, and I'm sure both strikers with the Champions League and the Cups, both strikers will be needed equally so throughout the campaign, but it was just interesting to see who Arne Slot's first choice will be. At the moment, he would have no reason to take Jota out of the side from the starting lineup. The way he's played, in the 2 games that he's played so far, he's been very impactful. Has Diogo Jota. Bradley. Konate. Back to Alisson. Goes long this time. Collins won that header against Nunez. So McAllister tried to mop up in midfield. Gravenberch finds Szoboszlai. Lovely spin from Szoboszlai. Finds Bradley. He's got options. Goes wide to Salah. Salah looking to go for the link up with Bradley again. Nice turn from the right back there. Back to Szoboszlai, who will lift it to the back post. Just too deep. As Gakpo was threatening round the corner. Soberslide just a bit too deep in that delivery. Goes behind for the goal kick. And Arne Slot just having a conversation with his vice-captain, who did come off on a bit of a huff. Did Trent Alexander-Arnold, but the want to play, the desire to play every single minute on the field, I'm sure, is the motivating factor behind Trent Alexander-Arnold being annoyed at coming off. Best players don't want to ever leave the field, but it's the manager that has the final say and has to have the final say, and no one should overrule that. I'm sure there's nothing in it. It's nothing more than just him wanting to stay on the field out of that one. Seen it before. Salah's done it before. All the best players do it. Speaking of Salah, he's won Liverpool a free kick here in midfield. Konate to Van Dijk. Gravenberg back to Alisson. Now Konate again. Alisson goes long. Again, couldn't reach Nunez that time. As McAllister tries to step in, Robertson does so as well, and the ball runs for Van Dijk to pick up. Again, and Bomo wanting a free kick of some sort, but the referee again adamant there was nothing in it. Of course, as I mentioned, there is League Cup football, the Carabao Cup second round this week. Brentford are in action in that one. Liverpool, of course, not, because they're in Europe, and the European sides, the European Premier League sides, don't come into the competition until the third round. But every other Premier League side is in the second round. And Brentford head to Colchester during the week. They play Colchester away on Wednesday night in the second round before they're back in action next Saturday as they welcome Southampton to the G-Tech Community Stadium in the Premier League. Of course, Liverpool get the midweek off, of course, with no action in the Carabao Cup. They will be keeping an eye on a few things during midweek with the draw in the Carabao Cup and also the Champions League draw to come during the midweek for Liverpool, as that's an opportunity that took a deflection and hit the crossbar from Cody Gakpo. Goodness me. To see this again for Liverpool. Down the left hand side comes Robertson, finds Gakpo off the left, he chops in field and has the strike curling towards goal, and it took a deflection and it come crashing off the crossbar off the deflection, deflected off the head of Nathan Collins. It come banging off the crossbar and behind for the corner. That come out of nowhere, that one. Liverpool have a corner. I'll get to the Liverpool's midweek talk in a moment. Robertson to take this corner then. Last 10 minutes of the game. Liverpool 2-0 up. Robertson to deliver. And Konate was in to try and head that one across, but goal kick incoming. As I was saying, Liverpool don't play during midweek, but they, as I said, they'll have some keen interest on a couple of draws. The Carabao Cup draw, third round draw on Wednesday night, and then the draw for the Champions League on Thursday as well, to see what 8 opponents they will have, of course, with a new formatted Champions League. And then they have a small task of heading to Old Trafford on Sunday. Next Sunday, this time next week, Liverpool will be facing Manchester United. Man United 1 win, 1 defeat to start their season. Liverpool 1 win, and it looks like they might add a second to that in the dying embers here before the international break. Of course, the first international break incoming very shortly after the next round of matches. Before we see an international break. It almost seems like the players are not long back from internationals before they're heading away again. Collins. As they are already singing their manager's name, Liverpool. Their previous manager actually was the first to sing the new song. It could be heard around these stands, and most certainly sung from that illustrious Kop for what Liverpool fans hope for years to come. And that's the first edition of it, surely, this afternoon we've heard here off the Kop, as Liverpool, I think, are ready to make another change. It looked like Harvey Elliott was getting ready on the sideline, and he is, and he's going to be coming on, and their man Mo Salah's going to come off, the man who surely has just sealed the deal for Liverpool this afternoon in this one, as he did last week. Always pops up for a goal, always has a chance at it. He's had a couple of chances today, and he did get his goal that gave Liverpool that 2-goal cushion. And now Harvey Elliott has come on in his place. Another player that could kind of battle for his place in the starting 11. As always performs when he comes on the field as Harvey Elliott. Another one of those Liverpool players that will be desperate for their opportunity to impress the manager. Bradley does well down that left-hand side. Brentford win the throw. Good challenge by Conor Bradley. As there's the England head coach and the Northern Ireland head coach. Of course, Conor Bradley, the Northern Irish international, be watched closely by Michael O'Neill. And of course, Lee Carsley, the interim England head coach, in attendance here this afternoon. As Liverpool defend that throw in and clear it away. As Bradley looks to chip it forward and got runners. As Nunez the first in that. And he chases this ball, has Flecken under pressure. And Flecken boots clear, and that's good pressure from Darwin Nunez. And Liverpool want to take advantage of this moment. Elliott takes it quickly. Here's Harvey Elliott. Look, they lifted across, and Nunez got a flicking header to it, but couldn't direct it in. Just wide from Darwin Nunez. Tried to take advantage of that little moment. I think he was always offside there, Darwin Nunez, anyway. Yeah, he was miles offside. Never got himself back onside, really, in that one. Flecken. Just over 5 minutes in the normal time to go. Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. Flecken goes long this time. Van Dijk to head it into midfield. McAllister to flick it on round the corner. Gravenberch chested down by Szoboszlai. It's good control from Liverpool. Van Dijk trying to pump it over the top. Almost finding its way out to Gakpo there. On the left as Robertson wins the throw. Takes the throw. Finds McAllister. Liverpool just managing this one out now, surely. At this late stage, if we compare the first half to the second half, in terms of opportunities, 5 shots, 2 on target in the first half, Liverpool. Compared that to the second half, 14 shots, 6 on target. They trebled their numbers between the two halves, which is quite remarkable. They did that last week. They didn't have a shot on target against Ipswich in the first half last week. Made a few tweaks at half time and ultimately come out in the second half and looked unstoppable. And in this second half, they have done exactly the same thing. They've come out and upped the level and certainly could have blown Brentford away, could have added a third, a fourth, a fifth with the chances they've created, Liverpool, but just 2-0 for the moment. Certainly wouldn't bet against them adding another. As here's Harvey Elliott down the right. One thing we've always seen from Liverpool in recent years is that ability to go till the very death, no matter what the scoreline. Always, if there's a scoring opportunity, always go for it. Here's McAllister. Tried to squeeze it through the lines, but run out of room, and now Mbeumo wants to come up the other end. Got the Liverpool defenders in front of him. Mbeumo trying to measure his chance and couldn't get past the first man, and Ibrahima Konate there, who blocked that one off fairly comfortably. Gravenberch does well to adjust. Finds Szoboszlai. Liverpool want to break again. Got Bradley and Gravenberch, ahead of him. Here is Szoboszlai, finds Elliott. Back to Szoboszlai. And now Ryan Gravenberch. And I have to say, it's another really professional performance from Liverpool. Talk about just keeping their calm, keeping their composure, and keeping their heads down and really continuing. You know, I said every time they came forward and they're creating chance after chance after chance, it looked ever more frustrating for them. But what they did is they kept their composure and didn't let that get to them. They got their second, and now they could be trying to add a third here. As Gakpo adjusts in the box, breaks off his man, tries to squeeze it in, and cleared away by Pinnock. As Elliott keeps it alive on the right hand side. Bradley, Gravenberch, Robertson, now to Gakpo, trying to find McAllister. He was on his heels there, was Alexis McAllister, and not anticipating that pass, as that's well closed down initially by Gravenberch, but Brentford break away, and Burmo couldn't stretch for that one. Again, falls to the floor as Elliott gathers for Liverpool, trying to come forward again. It's got a bit more open this game, a bit more end-to-end the last few minutes. Maybe a third is on the cards. I think Liverpool are just feeling a hint of it, but no real worry. No real necessary need to go for a third, but that's not the way these players will look at it. Well, we talk about the difference between half to half. I don't think Brentford have massively declined in the second half. I just think they've tried, but again, without real quality in the final third to do so. They've had one shot on target either half so far, and really not tested Liverpool or Alisson very much. They did have one really good chance through Nathan Collins that forced a good save of Alisson, but other than that, they've had barely anything to really kind of grasp onto in terms of in front of goal. They've been mostly feeding off scraps today, and that's really positive and promising for Liverpool's point of view. But from a Brentford point of view, I'm sure they would have wanted a bit more in the attacking third, trying to threaten this, not new look Liverpool, but a slightly tweaked Liverpool from the old style under Jurgen Klopp. And at the moment, it just looks like Liverpool are comfortable and cruising to victory at this moment in time. As we hit the 90-minute mark, and we will play 5 more minutes here at Anfield, so 5 more to go. As there's a free kick to go Brentford's way, and McAllister there, but late in this challenge, and now Liverpool are going to make a change once more, their final change of the day, and it's going to be Ryan Gravenberch gets a round of applause and a standing ovation from the Anfield crowd. Another really good performance in midfield from Ryan Gravenberch. Had that early yellow card that maybe could have unsettled him, but massively grew into the game and had another very good performance in that deep midfield role, and done another very good job in there for Liverpool. He's going to be replaced by Wataru Endo, signed last summer. Of course, it's kind of a, no offence to Endo, but a stopgap for that role, but is now coming off the field just to make sure that it's all shored up in those final few moments. Making the most of the 5 substitutions. Arne Slot. 2 sets of 3 substitutes, and then 2 single substitutes for his 5. Brentford have made 4 of their own. Unlikely they'll make another. A reminder then for you, don't forget midweek action. Birmingham taking on Fulham in the second round of the Carabao Cup on Tuesday night, along with all the other ties. And then on Wednesday night we'll have a number of ties as well, as Nottingham Forest host Newcastle in that all Premier League tie on Wednesday night, followed by the third round draw, which is a few stipulations. We'll tell you about that on Wednesday night. We'll also have the Champions League draw on Thursday. It's more automated this time, so it's more kind of computerised, and we'll talk through that during the week. Plus, we'll have the podcast on Wednesday as well for you to bring you through the afternoon. And then another weekend of Premier League football to come next weekend for you, as that's got a bit loose for Liverpool in the midfield. As Carvalho tries to break in behind. Back to Shada. Shada battling with Bradley and Elliott tracking back to help out. But Shada battling, and it goes out for the goal kick. As I was saying, Premier League football to return next weekend for you. September. Next Sunday we will have for you. We have two very good games for you next Sunday. The Old Firm derby at 12:30 next Sunday, followed by an old rivalry as well between Manchester United and Liverpool. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. Sorry, the Old Firm is 12:30 next Sunday for you, and those are those games. Looking forward to those next week. McAllister does well. Finds Szoboszlai, who slips and just loses the possession. Does Szoboszlai. He's lost his footing there on the Anfield turf. A minute and a half to go. Here's Mbeumo. Liverpool again try and close Mbeumo down, and again he's seen off the ball and claiming and crying for a foul again. I don't think you can count on one finger how many times Bryan Mbeumo has complained at wanting a free kick today, and he's just given one way himself and got a yellow card for his troubles. Certainly a day to forget for Bryan Mbeumo. Not one of his best performances. I think he's actually got the yellow card for kicking the ball away more than the foul itself. Well, there was something I did look at before the game. Just quickly mention it before we leave you this afternoon. Brentford's away games to start the season, not easy. Away to Liverpool, away to Man City, away to Tottenham, and then away to Manchester United are their first 4 away games of the new season. Certainly not an easy away visit for Brentford to come over the next few weeks. But that's the joys of playing Premier League football. And Endo's challenge there goes unpunished. Goal kick Liverpool. And that could be the last action of the game, as the crowd wait to applaud their team here at Anfield. And it is a record attendance at Anfield as well. 60,107, beating Crystal Palace and Tottenham of last season. And those attendances, over 60,000, witnessing Arne Slot's first league game at Anfield as the manager. And it ends with a win. The era of Arne Slot off to a pretty perfect start so far. 6 points, 2 wins from 2, and 2 clean sheets to go along with it. Comfortable victories over Ipswich and Brentford, 2 sides that Liverpool should be beating in the balance of things. But under a new manager, anything can happen, and so far it's gone plain sailing for Arne Slot and Liverpool. 2 goals again today. Luis Diaz set up by Jota, and Mo Salah scoring the second. It's his second in 2 games this campaign. Mo Salah seemingly back to his best at Liverpool, off to a pretty perfect start. They join 3 other sides, still with a 100% record to start the season, in Manchester City, Brighton and Arsenal, all winning their first 2 games of the season. Perfect day for Liverpool at Anfield. A record attendance, a comfortable home victory, and a clean sheet and 3 points. Wonderful day. Final score at Anfield, Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. And that is another Premier League match week done and dusted. 2 down, 36 to go. And a long way to go in any sort of race for anything this season. Let's just round them up for you before we leave you this afternoon. Manchester United couldn't make it 2 wins from 2 yesterday at lunchtime, as they were beaten in the 95th minute by Brighton. West Ham bounced back from last week's defeat at home to beat Crystal Palace, who've lost back-to-back at London derbies to start the season. Fulham also bounced back from a narrow defeat last week as they won by 2-1 against Leicester. Ipswich took the lead at the Etihad in their first visit to the Etihad in their history, and they lost by 4-1 in the end. Erling Haaland with a hat-trick sealing the victory for City. Nottingham Forest remain unbeaten to start the campaign, a win and a draw to start their new campaign under Nuno Espirito Santo. But Southampton beaten by 1-0 on both games to start their new season. Everton had the worst start to their campaign, conceding 7 goals, scoring none, and lost both games. 4-0 yesterday to Tottenham, 3-0 to Brighton last week. Not a good start for Sean Dyche's Everton. Arsenal, contrastingly, have won both of their opening games, and Villa were the ones that fell to defeat to the Gunners yesterday at Villa Park. Villa, who beat Arsenal twice last season, done the double over the Gunners. A controversial draw earlier this afternoon as Bournemouth were denied a late winner against Newcastle for a handball in the build-up. Wolves were comfortably beaten by Chelsea by 6 goals to 2, and Liverpool made it 2 wins from 2 to start the season. Their 100% record under the new manager, still yet to concede a goal as well under Arne Slot. That's match week 2 of the Premier League done, and we are back in midweek for the Carabao Cup. The Premier League returns as well next weekend as we watch an old rivalry of sorts. It's rivalry day, it's derby day here in LFS next Sunday afternoon as we watch the Old Firm at lunchtime, followed by Manchester United Liverpool. For now, thanks for your company this Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you in midweek. Bye bye.